Hey folks, in this video, I'm gonna show you my summer 2025 street photography kit. This is all the gear that I use on an everyday basis. And I made a video very similar to this a few months back, and since then, a lot of my gear choices have changed. So I think it's gonna be really fun to show you guys all the revisions that I've made. But before we get any further, I'm Velvet Alfredo. I'm a street portrait photographer. I go out into the world and I find interesting and unique people and I snap their photo. It's a blast, and this is the gear that I use every single day. So it's really important that I am both streamlined and I have gear that I can trust. So let's dive right in. Now, first and foremost, let's talk about the star of the show, the camera. Now, I had been using the A7R5 for a very long time. I use this compact 24mm Sony lens. It's really tiny, as you can see, and I use a Sony flash. And I just made a video about why I shifted away from the Sony A7R5 to the Leica M11. So I'm not going to get into all those details. If you want to watch that video, it's linked below and somewhere up here. The Leica M11 is a much smaller package, and when I shifted from a kind of shallow depth of field style on the Sony to a much more expansive depth of field with the Leica, this became the package and the camera that I'm using on a daily basis. They have the same sensor, so the look and the color is very, very, very similar. It's all about handling. That the Sony A7R5 is a mirrorless camera the way you expect. It's got a grip, it has all the bells and whistles, endless menus, endless features. It can basically do anything. The Leica M11 is a much more reserved camera. It doesn't have a lot of menus, it doesn't do a lot of things, it doesn't even shoot video. And it is almost 3 times the price of a Sony A7R5. But if you enjoy the handling of a rangefinder, which I've come to love, this is the camera for you. It's just unmatched anywhere in the market. And there's a reason why street photographers choose the Leica system, the M series system, because it really feels purpose-built for street photographers. If you need to shoot product shots or brand photography, I'm not sure I would choose a Leica. I would choose a Sony A7R5 every single day. But for the work I'm doing every single day, street portraits, this is the camera. Now, the lens I've chosen for this I think is really interesting. So I have the Leica Elmarit 28mm f2.8. It's a $3,000 little compact lens, but I find that I don't even like it as much as this much more affordable Voigtlander 28mm. This is the Voigtlander 28mm color scope R. It is an f2.8 lens just like the Leica Elmarit, but it is sub $1,000. It might be closer to $500. And it's awesome. I even like the focus wheel on this lens more than the Elmarit. I just like the way it feels. It just feels really, really dampened and smooth. It's just a really, really nice lens. I can't tell the difference in the images, if I compare the two. And if I showed you a blind, Elmarit versus Voigtlander, you wouldn't be able to tell me the difference. I'm telling you right now. So this tiny little guy that is a third of the price, I would choose this any day over the Leica Elmarit f2.8. Save your money, get the Voigtlander, trust me. Now, on every single lens that I own, the lens you're looking at right now, on this lens, on every lens that I own, I put one filter on it. It goes on everything. It's the Tiffin Glimmer Glass 1. I love the way the Tiffin Glimmer Glass looks. I think it's beautiful. It softens skin. It makes women look beautiful. It does a really cool thing to the highlights, but it's not obnoxious. And some people hate it. Some people, I was at a camera shop the other day and somebody said that they thought when they saw that filter for the first time in the shop, they thought it was a joke. And I was like, I don't know. I think this looks great. But you tell me. If you like the look of my photography, if you like the look of the video you're seeing right now, I've got Tiffin Glimmer Glass on this. It goes on every single camera that I have access to. I think it just takes the edge off that digital vibe of modern high resolution cameras, and I think it's perfect. All right, so now let's talk about the one piece of gear I get the most questions about, and that's my flash. But first, let's talk about the one I was using. I was using the Sony branded Speedlight. You can see it here. It's a TTL flash. It communicates right with the camera to decide the perfect exposure, the perfect output. But this is about as small as the Sony flash gets. And that's what makes this one cool, is that it's really, really tiny. It looks really cool on the camera, but it's entirely manual. But in my case, that's a benefit because the problem that I was seeing, and I discussed this in the video that I was talking about before, left to its own devices, the TTL flash system was making for like a very gentle exposure. It wasn't giving me that like poppy editorial look that I really, really like. And I could have like manually adjusted it. But as I was thinking about my options, what made it really awesome was that this one's really tiny. And if I'm going to go manual, I want to get something for my money, and I'm going to make it really, really tiny. It also happens to look like really good on this camera, which I can't get over. So like I've met other street photographers on the street that use this too, and they swear by it. It's really reliable. It's really incredible. The power output. I mean, you see most of my photos take place in the middle of the day. And so I'm competing with the sun. So like, any flash is powerful enough in nighttime conditions. But during the day, this competes with the sun. It does fantastic. I get that poppy editorial look I'm looking for, all in a very tiny package. And a little bit of a pro tip with this flash, or maybe any flash, is use rechargeable batteries. Like you will chew through some AA or AAA batteries if you're not careful, and that costs some real money. So I use these Eneloop Pro batteries. These are rechargeable and they're really easy to use. I mean, I don't even think about them. I just have a handful of these. I put them in this little charger and I'm good to go. And I always have an extra pair with me. So I put two in the flash, and I have two with me in my bag. And so it doesn't matter. I'm always ready to go. You can get about 400 shots out of a single 2-set battery pair, but I never go through it in a single day. And I've shot like a lot of photos on this and it's never an issue. And by the way, I shoot every single photo flash, like every single photo of mine. I don't shoot without a flash these days. So anything you see from me, it has a flash. So the last critical part of any camera system is the SD card. And I use these Lexars. These are the 2000X. They're really fantastic. I really love them. I have them in every single camera that I own. The Leica M11 takes one of them. It also has redundant internal storage, which is super cool. But the Sony systems have, 2 card slots. And so I have 2 of these. I use 256 gig. Not that I would ever fill that up, but in the event that I maybe shoot some video, larger card sizes are better than smaller ones. In my Sony FX3 that you're looking at right now, that's what I film these vlogs on. I have 2 of them in there too, and it shoots redundant in case one of the cards ever fails. But none of them have ever failed. I love them. They're fantastic, and I swear by them. Okay, so now that you've seen all the camera stuff, let's skip ahead and I want to show you my bag because it's going to give you some context as to like what I'm going to put inside of it. So I use this TomTalk sling. This is the EDC everyday carry sling, and it is very tiny. You can see how thin it is, but it can puff up and you can put a lot of stuff in it. And what's cool about this is it has a lot of different compartments. It's got a zipper compartment in the front, it's got a zipper compartment in the back, and it's got like a kind of a split down the middle where you can put stuff on one side and stuff on the other. And on one side, it has this netting that you can put things in, and it's perfectly sized for action cameras, which we're going to talk about in a second. But I swear by this thing. This thing is amazing. It's super lightweight. It's in this kind of like nylon, waterproof, water-resistant fabric. It's really, really good, and it's not at all cumbersome. Like sometimes, like I love Peak Design stuff, but many of their bags are like really form-fitted and rigid, and they're uncomfortable to pull things in and out of, and even when you have only a little bit of things in it, it's still really, really big, and this like shrinks and grows as necessary, and it's really fantastic, and it's also like really cheap. I think it's under $50. And now that we know what bag I'm carrying, let me show you what goes inside of it. And everything else is kind of about the documentation of the work that I do on the street. So it's not about the photos, it's about the video documenting how I make my work. So my Instagram account, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's all from my POV. It's my perspective as I walk up to strangers and ask to take their photo. And I've done that in 2 ways. One has been with the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. These things, man, I love these things. I wear these basically every single day, And it's so simple that you have a camera on your face. You just tap one button and it just starts recording. And these things have been like indispensable. I have worn these every single day in 2025. I swear by them, but these have one downside. They only shoot portrait orientation video. They don't shoot like TV 16:9. And if you're making short form content, it is awesome. But if you want something for YouTube, you have to make some awkward choices as to like, do you only show that and have like the, black or white pillar bars on the side? Or do you try to like, blow it up and now it's kind of lower resolution? And what I've decided is I'm not going to make those choices. I'm going to pick the tool that works for me in the moment. So if I know I'm going to shoot short form on the street, I'll wear the glasses. But if I'm going to shoot long form, I use the Insta360 Go 3S. This is the 4K version of the camera that I started my account on. I started my account on the Insta360 Go 3. It's like 2.7K, and I would just like blow it up to 4K. And I loved those. But when I found the Meta glasses, I was like, man, I'm switching. But I felt this tug of like, I need to be making more YouTube appropriate content. So having a camera that shoots 16:9 TV on my head at any time, like this is the camera that I use. Now this is like a classic action camera size, right? But this isn't actually the thing. You pop it out. Watch this. You pop out this little capsule, and now you've got this tiny little capsule that fits on your hat. And so it comes with this hat mount. Look at this. I could put on a hat and I could just snap it right in there. And now I'm ready to have like POV 16:9 4K video. It's awesome. And then you can also see what you're recording in this screen wirelessly. So you can just like look at this and like see what you got. So I just put this in my pocket when I'm recording. And this thing stays up here. So I don't even really use the bag for the one that I'm recording with. But the battery life on this is only about 35 minutes. And in the event that I run out, and with the Insta360 Go 3, the first one, the 2.7K one, I would run out all the time. And the battery, I just record for 40 minutes and then battery's dead. And instead of popping this back in to charge it, because it's this thing that runs out of batteries. It's not this thing. So I'd have to pop this thing back in here and let it recharge. So instead of waiting for it to recharge, I bought multiples. And so I have 3 of these. You could see that I've numbered them on the bottom. There's 1, this is 3, 2 is like over there somewhere. And I have 2 of these in my bag at any one time. And what I mean is I carry 2 with me. So I have this one that I'm using in my pocket, and this one goes in the bag. And so if this one runs out of battery, I just pop it out, pop this one in, ready to go. And that means that I can record as long as I want to, and it is, to be fair, an expensive solution to a practical problem that I have on the street, which is I need to be making content. I do this professionally, and I can't I can't have battery being the thing that holds me back. So having a handful of these around is like not the biggest expense when I get an entire awesome, day's worth of footage. And let me add like one last thing about this, because if the Ray-Ban Metas had like a button or an option to switch from portrait orientation to 16:9, or maybe it shoots like open gate and I can like choose my framing later, that would be the killer app for these glasses. That is my big issue, that the glasses are perfect. The audio is so good on the glasses that it rivals the Insta360 Go 3. Like I prefer the audio in the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. I just wish it also shot 16:9. But if like a future version of these glasses had an option to switch to 16:9 instead of just portrait, man, oh man, like that's it. That's the killer feature for these glasses. I'm done. I never take these things off. I'll have 12 pairs. So that gear describes how I record my POV videos. But what if I'm on the street and I want to do a bit of vlogging, let's say? And by vlogging, I generally mean like I'm going to turn the camera around and talk to the camera. I want the camera to face me, and I want to hold it, and I want to talk about whatever has just happened or whatever's on my mind. What camera do I use? And I have gone back and forth about what this camera could be. And I've really landed on the DJI Pocket 3. That this gimbal-based camera, it has a 1-inch sensor. You guys know about this camera. You've heard about this camera. It's really, really awesome. and really, really reliable. That I've shot weddings on this thing, I have shot vlogs on this thing, I've shot like client content on this thing, and it accepts a wireless mic, so I can just use a DJI wireless mic, which I'm going to show you in a second. It's hard to beat. I think it feels a little fragile, especially when you have to use the carrying case. The fact that I have to take it out of the carrying case to use it is a little bit frustrating. And it kind of like underlines the fragileness of this camera. On the other hand, it's never broken, so maybe I should just not worry about it and just use it, and that's where I landed. The alternative to this would be an action camera like the DJI Action 4 or the DJI Action 5. There is a YouTuber, I think his name's Chris Meets Chris, and he is like a huge advocate for the DJI Action series for vlogging. Just like walking and talking, he uses this every single day, and he loves it. And I feel that. Like, I think that if I ever have issues with this summer, I'm going to immediately switch to the DJI Action 4. But right now, for like anytime I just want to look at a camera out on the street and I want to talk to it and I want to have like nice subject separation where like whatever's behind me is out of focus and I have really nice audio with a wireless mic, this is the camera that I would choose. Also, I've shot this in like really low light conditions too, like really low light. Does great. Does totally fine. I really don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. The only bad things I have to say is that like, I wish I didn't have to take it out of a carrying case. But other than that, it's awesome. The battery lasts forever. So until it breaks, I have no complaints. So the DJI Pocket 3 is my everyday vlogging camera. So like I said, I use a wireless mic system, and this is the DJI Mic Minis. I mean, these are really tiny. I mean, look at this. Most of you are probably familiar with the DJI Mic 2s. Those are the larger ones where you can like record on them without them being like wirelessly connected to anything. And that's awesome. That is like super helpful in certain situations. But if you're just out and you want like really clean audio, you could just attach this to your chest or to your shirt or whatever. And they are like micro. I mean, these things are just small. And it easily connects to the DJI Pocket 3. They're hyper reliable. I dropped one in the street one time and like found it a couple minutes later and it was fine. So like they are durable and they're great. And they've got this little like case that you can like charge if you need to. But here's the thing. I don't bring this whole case. I just take one of them, and the battery life is really, really long. I think it's over 10 hours, so you could just like turn this on and like forget about it. It'll be good all day. So I don't bring the carrying case anywhere. I just bring the mic and its little windscreen top, and I put it in the bag. That's all I use. Now, the last important part of my kit is kind of like an emergency use thing, and that is an Anker battery pack. This is a USB-C battery pack. It doesn't really matter. This one I love. I very rarely use it, but when I've needed it, boy, oh boy, was I glad I had it. And I just slide this right into the back panel of this bag. Like it just fits right back there, and I don't ever really take it out. I took it out for this video, but I almost never take it out. I almost never charge it. It's always at full power. I mean, this thing is like a rock in that way, but it's also like lightweight. So that's fantastic. And I use a very flexible, durable, woven USB-C cord from Apple. I like the really soft woven kind that like bend in any way, not the plastic kind that are like kind of hard to manage. These are like the really soft, really durable fiber woven ones. So this is fantastic. And these both just go right in that back panel of the bag, and I forget about it. I never think about it. And when I need it, it can charge my camera. It can charge my glasses. It can charge my Insta360 Go 3. It can charge anything that I need. It's like really, really reliable. And this kit here, it comes from everyday usage. I know there's a lot of street photographers that I see on YouTube, and I get the strong impression they are not out on the street every single day. And in my case, I'm using all of this gear every single day to make my street portrait videos. So it has been evolving as I feel the tiniest bit of friction. I try to fix that with like, how do I make my loadout a little bit better? And so currently for summer 2025, this is the kit, and I'll make sure you guys are updated if I make any changes to it. But thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you've liked this video, please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me, and I'll see you folks next time.